Vice City. It eats you alive if you let it. But if you're smart, if you're ruthless, you can own it. You ready to make some real money?
I'm done being someone else's pawn. We run this our way.
After many years of waiting,
place is chaos,
Rockstar's
baby.
finally bringing us back to Vice City, but this time it's gonna be bigger, louder, obviously far more alive. You get to play as Lucia and a partner in crime, taking on heists, chases, and just mayhem across the world that's gonna feel way too real. Every street has a story, every decision has weight, and the new physics and just lighting make it feel quite wild. The map stretches beyond the city into the state of Leonida, where freedom really means freedom. It's basically Grand Theft Auto perfected, modern, cinematic, and made for pure mayhem. This one's gonna define open world gaming again, coming out May 26.
If you're ruthless, you can own it. You ready to make some real money?
I'm done being someone else's pawn. We run this our way.
This place is chaos, baby.
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams. Since time immemorial, this power has been the impetus for human wars.
The Neo series has always nailed that brutal blend of action and precision, and Neo 3 looks like it's gonna be doubling down. You're gonna be playing as this character that's portrayed by his own brother, and now forced into a world where history and myth constantly collide. The combat feels faster and even more punishing with new stances, yokai powers, and weapon transformations that keeping things intense. Every fight's gonna feel personal, and the lore is gonna run deep with time jumps across different Japanese eras. Like it's that perfect mix of swordplay and supernatural energy with cinematic duels and some haunting atmosphere. Neo 3 looks stylish, challenging, and exactly the kind of sequel we all hoped for.
Foolish of you to have entered.
Well, with that being said, the Horizon series has always been about freedom. That feeling of just pure speed and adventure, and Forza Horizon 6 looks like it's taken that energy to the next level, blending hyper-realistic visuals with even wilder open-world events. You can now race through cities, branches, and deserts all stitched together in a massive, seamless map built for exploration. Dynamic weather shifts, day and night transitions, and hundreds of customizable cars make every race feel unique. It's not just about driving fast this game, it's about living that thrill of the open road. Horizon 6 is shaping up to be the biggest, boldest playground the series has ever built.
Heart. 2.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.
If the first game was weird, this one looks straight up unhinged, and that's the best part. Atomic Heart 2 is diving back into its twisted sci-fi world where machines, mutants, and mind-bending experiments collide. The sequel promises deeper combat, smarter enemies, and a darker story that digs into the chaos that's left behind. You'll explore new labs, shattered cities, and strange biomes where every corner hides something mechanical and alive. The gunplay is going to feel sharper, melee is going to be more brutal, and the world's even more reactive. It's still the same bizarre mix of beauty and horror, just bigger, creepier, and full of that unfiltered Soviet sci-fi madness. Well, with that being said, Yakuza Kiwami 3 returns with a complete overhaul, sharper visuals, remastered cutscenes, and a smoother combat system that still packs that over-the-top charm the series is known for. The story is gonna go back into honor, loyalty, and street fights that somehow feel personal and ridiculous at the same time. But the real surprise is Dark Ties, which is an expansion that builds new storylines and deeper character arcs, time pass events together in classic Yakuza style. There's gonna be more karaoke, action, and just a ton of heart. It's the perfect blend of serious storytelling and absurd humor, rebuilt from the ground up for a new generation of players.
Part 2. And like all good sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more.
Back to space. Now, this time it's gonna be way more ambitious. The Outer Worlds 2 brings much more detail and sharper dialogues, a bigger galaxy, and just way more freedom to mess things up, or fix them, if you're into that. You're gonna be playing as an agent tangled in corporate corruption and interplanetary politics, where every decision feels messy but then meaningful at the same time. The combat's gonna be flashier, the humor's darker, and the tone still nails with that tragic future gone wrong vibe. Every planet has personality, every crew member is gonna have an opinion, and your choices still drive everything. It's gonna be smart, funny, and built to make you think, even while you're blowing things up.
Try not to break it again. The Outer Worlds 2.
Today, a new chapter in this land's history shall be written by our own hand.
We fight those who wield power to prey on the weak. Beasts who think themselves men. That is what it means to be a Creed. The time has come.
Well,
to do
Crimson Desert, one of the most anticipated games of the year, is like the kind of RPG that just pulls you in with its world itself alone. The game is set across a brutal war-torn continent filled with mercenaries, monsters, and ancient secrets waiting to be discovered. Combat's got that satisfying weight to it, like every sword swing feels deliberate, dodges feel earned like a Souls-like, and you're not just fighting enemies, you're surviving politics, betrayal, and just the chaos of a land constantly at war. The visuals are unrealistically crisp. The world feels like a living creature, and this whole thing is just tied together with cinematic storytelling that actually makes you care. Crimson Desert is a gritty, ambitious game that looks like one of those games that defines a new generation of fantasy RPG.
Remember who you are, and let it guide your path. For at the end of it, you will find the answers you seek.
Been fighting longer than I can remember.
Well, up next at number 9, well, this one is just pure talent at its peak. Marvel's Wolverine is shaping up to be a story-driven brawler with a brutal combat, lots of cinematic pacing, and the just raw edge you'd expect from Logan himself. This game is not about being a superhero, it's about surviving your own anger in a world that never stops testing you. The game leans heavy into atmosphere, dim bars, rainy streets, and just fights that end with more claws than words. Every encounter is gonna feel personal, and the tone just screams grit with purpose. It's cinematic, it's bloody and emotional, showing the loner side of the Wolverine we rarely see. Insomniac knows what they're doing here.
Death's always waiting. Just
not for me.
Your reputation is legend.
The city flowered in fire, and in fire she will end.
Don't listen.
Dark, seductive, and full of secrets, Bloodlines 2 brings back that haunting mix of role-playing and moral chaos. You're gonna be navigating Seattle's underground vampire world where every clan, every conversation, and every bite can change the story. It's not about power this time, it's about survival, it's about deception, and actually what's left of your own humanity. The dialogue system in the game is more reactive this time, the combat's smoother, and the atmosphere is now dripping with gothic style. Neon-lit streets, underground clubs, and whispered conspiracies set the stage for choices that actually bite back. It's gonna be that kind of game. It's not just another sequel, it's a return to one of the most unique RPG experiences ever made, rebuilt for a new era.
Strange dreams. I see a garden, and I have met someone.
But that would mean...
Who is he?
Is it recording?
Yeah, it is.
It's in the sky, a giant cube. I can still barely believe it myself. When it showed up, I was in the lab. I didn't even see it. You know? I felt that same fear, though. A terrible sense of...
Coming up behind that, we've got the game Cube, which was just announced, just revealed to be coming to PC, and it's available through a pretty short demo on Steam. Cube is a MMORPG shooter, and you're on this giant levitating cube with rotating rows and edges, and hidden within this unknown equation that's just capable of altering the laws of reality. And what you're going to be doing is just basically survive. It's an action adventure, basically. It's got a lot of shooting, lots of RPG elements. It's set in an open world. The game is coming from Mundfish, you know, the studio behind Atomic Heart, so we know it's gonna be crazy. Not much known except the trailer. It's actually a lot like Atomic Heart.
Silence used to sound different. Whispering wind and rustling grass. I've only ever heard them on recordings. The planet has been slowly wasting away for generations. In the end, we became prisoners of our arcs. My brother was obsessed with the old world. A world where we lived...
Coming up behind that, we have Honeycomb: The World Beyond. It's a survival sandbox game set on this exuberant planet called Soda 7. The game is basically a survival creature collecting that's coming from a very well-known developer whose specialty is in just sandbox and simulation games. This time you are playing as a bioengineer on a mission to just revive the world and bring its ecosystem back. It's a pretty good looking game, might be bringing something new to the table. Apparently it has a lot of surprise elements, lots of puzzles, lots of crafting, and well, this is how it looks.
If the world turns cold,
if crisis takes hold.
Crysis X, on the other hand, is finally locking in a release window, and it's landing in the second quarter of 2026. And we've also got a fresh trailer to hype it up. The game, in case you missed it, it's all about open world survival. You're scavenging loot, mowing down zombies, and stacking resources to keep your base standing. And what's actually wild is the crafting scale of the game. Like everything from rifles, your guns, armors, vehicles, even tanks are all options on the table. On top of that, survival mechanics like thirst, hunger, and health keep the pressure real. It's grounded, pretty gritty, and it's shaping up to be one of those sink hours into kind of games.
Lost. Maybe the way clears when we walk together. Collaborate.
I dreamt of a time before the corruption and the fight for survival. I dreamt of a shimmering home and of exile. To find peace, we must brave the deep.
Coming up behind that is another long-anticipated game, Enshrouded. A dark, mysterious game built for players who just love survival with a twist. You'll explore a shadowed world where danger lurks around every corner, and every choice can mean life or death. The environments are massive, filled with ruins, forests, and secrets beginning to be uncovered. The combat's tense, survival mechanics feel meaningful, and exploration rewards careful observation. Once out, it's going to be an immersive, atmospheric game that's going to have you guessing all day because every step's going to feel weighty. Encounters matter, and the sense of mystery makes the world feel alive in a way that's going to stick with you. Here's a new trailer.
To find peace, we must brave the deep. Hear the old gods whisper, and an ancient fury awakens.
遥か昔、この国に輪廻の獣が現れた。輪廻の獣は汚れを吐き、あらゆる生物を蝕んだ。
Beast of Reincarnation's Game Freak stepping way outside their league of, just Pokemon games. Now diving into a dark post-apocalyptic Japan era with some serious Souls-like vibes. Here you follow this character called Emma, a cursed outcast and a loyal dog as they explore this twisted world that's filled with monstrous yokais and mechanical enemies. The combat looks super technical with time-based parties and a legendary blade, so you're gonna need some serious skill to just survive. The atmosphere is just grim and mature and a big shift from what Game Freak usually does. Plus, it hits day one on Game Pass in 2026, so everyone can jump in and test their mettle as soon as possible.
Wake up, sleepyhead. The wildest city's coming right up.
Going down to number 15 with something fresh. Once again, we have Ananta. If you haven't heard of this one yet, it's a big open world game that's aiming to give you freedom in just every direction. We're talking driving cars, getting into street fights, sneaking around with stealth moves, and even pulling off missions however you want, whatever you want. Like, it's not just locked into one style kind of game, but that's what makes it stand out. These developers are mixing a little bit of everything, action, story, and a lot of exploration into one package. There's a playable demo already lined up for mobiles, and prior to that, developers came up with some actual in-game footage.
That one thing.
Get home early and game on.
Rampant pollution has depleted the world's resources, and only your moving house and its mysterious power can cleanse the pollution. In this world, you will meet
Up next at number 16, we have Project Bloomwalker, which is if like Stardew Valley took a road trip in a moving house with a cast of these oddlings, and Animal Crossing got a makeover or something. Picture a home that travels with you. You know, leaving flowers and life in its wake while you explore these ruined lands, purify them and decorate interiors like Tetris with, you know, just unlimited creativity. It's gonna be a cozy game but with a pinch of adventure, lots of cozy crafting meets magical and sim game elements, all wrapped in a warm, whimsical vibe for PC and consoles when it comes
fiery
out.
pot of purification, and the moving house that you travel the world with. Don't forget the oddlings that help you on your adventure.
But it just slowed, froze, like time holding its breath.
Permafrost, not sure when was the last time we talked about this game, although the good news is that it's now coming in 2025 and we got new footage. This game drops you into a frozen wasteland in 2035. Where survival isn't just about food and fire, it's about outsmarting endless winter. You scavenge what's left of a ruined city, craft tools and build shelters while the cold just slowly eats whatever is in its path. Your loyal dog tags along, hauling supplies and warning you of threats before they strike, and resources like wood and rare batteries keep everything running and are essential, but choices matter more. You can ally with survivors or go solo, which is gonna make things harder. It's basically a harsh fight for life in a world that's just gonna be swallowed sooner or later by ice.
The world ended not in flames, but in silence and frost. Permafrost. Wishlist now.
And last but not least, we have the game Everwild, which prior to July 2025 was shaping up to be something truly different. I mean, a world built around magic and the nature itself. A game developed by the developers Rare, it had this hand-painted art style where every creature and landscape looked alive. Players weren't just supposed to survive but to connect with the world, performing rituals, discovering ancient mysteries, and living in harmony with, you know, strange, beautiful wildlife. Still, Everwild's announced to have been cancelled but not officially, so the future at this moment for this game is unclear. Either way, we're really hoping it gets the attention it deserves.